This is TOS Television, your digital first Pan-African news network. I am Abigail Okmade and this is Africa Now. Libyan Prime Minister Fathi Bashagha, who was nominated by the Eastern-based parliament earlier this month, has said that he will enter Tripoli peacefully in the next few days without resorting to force, despite long-drawn deadlock between competing groups. After a planned poll collapsed in December, Abdulhamid Al-Dabiba, who was appointed by interim prime minister a year ago in a UN-supported procedure, has refused to hand over power to Bashagha and remains ensconced in the capital backed by some armed groups. Bashagha attempted to approach Tripoli with a big armed convoy 3 weeks ago, but was forced to retreat when soldiers associated with the Dabiba blocked the roads into the capital. Kenya's Supreme Court judges on Thursday blocked President Uhuru Kenyatta's backed plan to make fundamental changes to the constitution ahead of crucial elections in August. According to the judges, President Kenyatta acted unlawfully when spearheading the reforms known as the Building Bridges initiatives. They said the reform should have been led by citizens, not a sitting head of state. The government was, however, allowed to appeal on 5 other issues which were under consideration by the court. A final judgment will be read out next week. Tunisia's main opposition party, the Islamist Ennahda, has rejected President Kais Said's move to dissolve parliament and says it will boycott any referendum he calls to restructure the political system unilaterally. Party leader Rached Ghannouchi, who is the parliament speaker, said in an interview that Ennahda would only take part in the referendum if Said held national consultations on his political reforms. Burkina Faso's Foreign Minister Olivier Ruamba said on Thursday a 36-month period of transition to democracy proposed by the country's military junta was realistic, given its stated objective to restore security to the country. West Africa Regional Bloc ECOWAS has called on the junta to shorten the transition period or risk sanctions. Now, Ethiopia's Supreme Court has upheld the order to release all-bail journalist Amir Aman Kiyaro, who was imprisoned for 4 months without charges, rejecting the police effort to block his bail. The Supreme Court on Thursday dismissed the appeal by police against bail that has been granted by a lower court earlier this week for Kiyaro, an Ethiopian video journalist accredited to the Associated Press. Kiyaro, who is 30 years, was detained on November 28 in Addis Ababa for interviewing the officials of a government-classified terrorist group. This is your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. You're watching Africa Now. Business and more coming your way after the break. Just stay tuned. Welcome back in business. Millions more Sudanese are set to go hungry this year as economic turmoil and erratic rains drive up prices and reduce harvests, with a halt to foreign assistance and the war in Ukraine putting food supplies at further risk. In the capital, Khartoum, the cost of ever-shrinking small loaves of bread has risen from 2 Sudanese pounds 2 years ago to about 50 pounds recently. The World Bank estimates that in 2021, 56% of Sudan's population of around 44 million were surviving on less than $3.20 or about £2,000 per day, one of its global poverty lines, up from 43% in 2009. South Africa's finance minister on Thursday announced a cut in fuel prices to help ease pressure on consumers hit with sharply rising energy costs, but his opposition counterpart labeled the gesture all but meaningless. Enoch Godogwana told lawmakers the government would knock 1.50 cents a litre off its general fuel levy until the end of May. Motorists in the country currently pay 21.60 rand for a litre of petrol and 19.55 rand for diesel, following a rise of around 145 cents for each in early March. Now moving away from business to security matters. The United Nations peacekeeping force in Mali has deployed 2 units to the African country's tri-border area with Burkina Faso and Niger to respond to a spate of civilian killings, it said on Thursday. A surge in attacks since early March by an Islamic State affiliate has left hundreds of citizens dead, according to official and military sources. The region has long been a hotspot of jihadist and militia violence in West Africa. Now, still on Mali, Russia has provided Mali's military with 2 combat helicopters and 2 sophisticated radar systems to aid in the fight against insurgency. After a series of confrontations with France, the junta that seized power in 2020 has built deeper connections with Russia. The Wagner group of Russian mercenaries is now reported to be assisting Mali's military through the junta, though the junta has refused to confirm their presence. Now, Niger has announced a plan to recruit 5,000 soldiers to boost its fight against various Islamist militant groups that the army is battling. The 3,000 more recruits is more than the army's usual annual intake. The military said the recruitment of those aged between 18 and 25 would be done in May. And that is it on Africa Now. For more updates, visit our website at www.TOS TVNetwork.com. Follow us and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Remember to subscribe on YouTube. To stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. I am Abigail Okwade. Thanks for watching.